Hey, my name is Rocky Gutierrez, and thank you very much for watching my last video presentation, which is entitled Boy Interrupted, which is about the self-reflection of the professional presentation course. Today, I will be discussing the presentation skills I have been working on while enrolled in the professional presentation course at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. I decided on using an Alice in Wonderland theme because it's something that's very close to me. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I thought that it really kind of brought the course all together. It's about someone who kind of took things for granted and was always searching for something different when they just needed to look in themselves and to realize they don't know everything, that there's still room to grow, there's still room to learn. And I think that's very similar to the things I kind of went through during this course presentation. In today's presentations, I'll be talking about three different areas. The first one I titled Valuable Lessons. These are lessons or skills that I think are important, whether it's during a presentation or going in for an interview, as most of our presentations were about. The second one I entitled Skills I've Improved On. Of course, there are things that I didn't know I needed to work on, and going through this, I definitely realized there were things I needed to work on. So I touched on three different skills that I definitely saw improvement on and got feedback that it improved as well. The last area is entitled Areas I Can Improve On. While I was able to improve on certain skills, there are some skills I know I have to always look out for and be mindful of. For the next slide, I entitled it Valuable Lessons. For the first one, of Decide Confidently, I think it is important to pick a topic or job that interests you first, whether it is deciding on a topic to discuss in class or for most of our presentations, the beginning of a career we want. We can't expect people to believe in what we are saying or selling if we're not enthusiastic about what we are talking about. The next one is research. No matter what stage you're at during the interview process or preparing for a presentation, research will always need to be done throughout the process. New questions will arise as you put together your presentation, and as you get further in the interview process, questions you didn't think of at that moment will pop up, and at the next interview or at a follow-up email, you could then ask those questions. The last valuable lesson that was very important to me was time management. I feel like I've always been great at time management. I kind of like working things at the last minute. I like that positive stress factor, but it is essential to give yourself plenty of time to not only get everything done, but also give room for error. While we cannot plan for all obstacles, we do need to be realistic and aware of the limitations surrounding us. Skills I have improved on. One of the first things that I felt that I really improved on this quarter was rehearsing. I tend to not like rehearsing too much as it feels fake and not personable, but in the same breath, you need to prepare to answer questions and to speak confidently. Creating an outline will help you to prepare without having to read directly off of your notes. The presentation can be rehearsed without it having sound like a lecture and help give the audience attention. The second skill I definitely saw improvement on was the upward inflection. I have gotten the feedback several times that while I appear to be confident while speaking, I can at times seem unsure of myself. Why is that? The upward inflection. It wasn't until I started seeing my presentations that I became aware of the upward inflection. It gives the impression that I'm asking a question and I'm unsure of myself. I thought I had personality. To others, it sounds like I'm not sure of myself. So I definitely worked on that this quarter and got several feedbacks saying that it had improved, but it's something I definitely need to work on probably throughout my life. The last skill I definitely saw improvement on was body language. I've always known that I'm animated, to say the very least. Whenever you have a presentation in a professional setting, you have to watch yourself. In person, it may not be such a big deal to utilize your hands and to walk around the room. But when you're talking on a video and you can see a hand flashing from the bottom of the screen or you're looking all around, it can be distracting. Also, it is important to watch your facial expressions as they can be read the wrong way. There is no other place for the audience to focus on while doing a video presentation. Areas I can improve on. I chose cohesiveness because I feel as though during the video presentations and even sometimes in papers that I'm writing, when it comes down to the conclusion and the summary, I tend to have a hard time bringing things all back together. So I need to be aware that cohesiveness is a problem I struggle with and will need to focus on. I become excited on the project as a whole and get caught up in the PowerPoint and presenting that sometimes I forget to tie all of the points together at the end. A second area I notice I can improve on still is I entitled word vomit. We probably all know the word from Mean Girls, and unfortunately, she did throw up in hers, but I didn't do that. I probably shouldn't say the word vomit, but this is among my peers, and I feel that we can all relate to this. It is important to choose your words wisely and in the right context. Sometimes I'm very OCD with my project, and something that should take maybe 2 hours to complete will take me 5 to 6 hours, only because I like to make sure my stuff is formatted correctly, it's the same throughout, and I like having the right pictures and animations. It's just little things that I like to do, kind of the extra thing. While it is okay, to take that long as my work is completed on time and I'm not missing anything else, I probably should have chosen better words to use instead of admitting that things may take me hours to complete on an interview. They may take that as I'm slow working, or, I don't manage my time wisely, when that's really not the case. Area I know I can definitely use improvement on is to toot my own horn. There's a fine line between being arrogant and being confident in your skills. I do have a hard time when it comes to expressing my skills, but as my mother would say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. While I am a confident person, I am nervous to talk about the skills I possess and know that I am efficient on, because if I let them down, I would feel bad. But at one point or another, you are going to have to try, and if you fail, it is okay. But I'm not going to get the opportunity to fail or succeed if I don't express what I can bring to a company. During the professional presentation course, there are several things I learned about myself, areas I could work on, and how to bring everything together at the end. First thing is to realize is that learning is a lifelong process. I kind of came into this course thinking I'm great at presenting. I really don't think there's a lot of things I need to work on, but there are definitely things I needed to work on. And while I improved on some of them, there are also skills that I need to work on still. I also thought it was really great that we can learn how to present in a different aspect, such as presenting on camera. I definitely thought it was a great tool to utilize. We were able to improve on our skills, grow as presenters and as students and as working professionals, while also admitting to ourselves there are areas we need to work on, addressing those areas, and then turning those weaknesses into strengths. The skills I learned in this class I could use throughout my career. While not all positions will require you to present, I do think it is an important trait to possess. It can help you stand apart from your coworkers and maybe open job opportunities within the company. Again, my name is Rocky Gutierrez. Thank you very much for watching all of my videos, for all of your positive feedbacks, and I hope you guys have a great break.